Does anybody here shop in supermarkets? Woo! Hey, anybody here breathe air? Woo! Big time! We got air. Who's got jetpacks? Wait, what? Yeah, so supermarkets, I always think I'm outsmarting other shoppers when I get into the self-checkout lane. Sure, it's a longer line, but you've got 4 outlets instead of 1 mildly retarded cashier. I take that back. I don't think I'm any smarter than any of the cashiers, nor do I think that I'm any better at their job. I'm just coming in fresh. It helps that, you know, shoppers' vacant expressions have been crushing my spirits for 18 hours straight already. How long are these people's shifts? Jeez. Every time I'm asked paper or plastic, in that deadpan, emotionless tone, I'm wondering which I should use to put them out of their misery. Which is why I always say plastic, because really paper's not going to do it. I've tried that. It does not work. Actually, better yet, why don't you just use the bags under your eyes? Because they look like they'll fit everything I got. Thanks. Yeah. Fuck you. So I like to think I'm a good guy, despite the joke I just told. Yeah, the other day I talked to my friend into going and getting help. Yeah, that's right. I talked to my friend into going to get help with his inability to resist peer pressure. I told him everybody's doing it. He couldn't say no. He could not say no. I also like to think I'm an optimist. You could call me Optimist Prime. Or not. I'm not married to that. Shit happens, people. But when it does, I like to look at the bright side. Yeah, why not? The other day, this really happened. I noticed, I saw a paraplegic being transported into a handicap van. And next thing I knew, this guy was dropped to the ground like a pile of bricks. And he hit hard. And I felt horrible for this dude. I did. I see your expression. I felt horrible. But then I'm thinking, you gotta look at the bright side here, right? Well, hey, at least he didn't feel it. Right? Okay, let's say he broke a leg. Well, was he gonna use it sometime soon? I don't think so. I am really horrible with context clues. You guys know about context clues? Yeah, it's, I'm not going to explain the concept, but the reason is this past New Year's, I attended a party downtown, and shortly after I arrived, I realized I was not wearing my watch like I am right now. And I thought, shit, what the hell? So later on, I'm asking people for the time, and nobody would answer me. I was being shunned by a room full of PDA, and I'm getting fucking frustrated. Don't any of you people kissing wear watches? And could you please stop with the noisemakers and kazoos? I'm trying to figure out how close we are to New Year's here. Please. Very inconsiderate.
That's a thinking man.
Tell me. I don't know if you've ever heard this. If a tree falls in a forest and there's no one around to hear it, does it make a sound? Yeah, that's not a joke, obviously. But it led me to my next thought. If I shave my balls and no female sees me naked, does my dick still look bigger? I like to think it does. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Speaking of which, I have this irrational fear that some past one-night stand will suddenly remember how I never called her back, get really angry, hunt me down, and demand mediocre sex. Yeah. Very irrational, that wouldn't happen. because my sex is not mediocre. So I did this. I interned at a television network downtown, and I started messing around with some fellow intern, and let me tell you, she was an aspiring news anchor. She certainly fit the bill. Stunningly beautiful, pitch perfect eloquence. Needless to say, I was really excited when it finally came time for her big debut. In my bedroom. So she barely crosses the threshold to my apartment, and I'm so eager to please that I'm ready to go down on her. When she unleashes this gnarly bush, and I felt bad, but I felt like it was my place, and that, you know, I had to let her know what was up. I was like, I'm sorry, babe, but you've got a vagina for radio. Vagina for radio. Last joke. All right. Anybody in the audience ever do this? Have you ever? This is my last joke. Anybody ever dress to impress?
Yes.
Yourself? I like to do this. I get dressed in a suit and tie, get in front of the mirror, and conduct a professional interview with myself. The only problem is I never know what question to ask when I ask myself if I have any questions for me.
Okay, will you take this?
Well, salary always comes up. So, what does the job pay? Well, as an employer, I tend to lowball myself so that I see if I have the balls to negotiate back. Because really, that's what I'm looking for. Someone who has the self-confidence to stand up for themselves. To themselves. But when I see the figure that I presented to me, I tell myself, I must be crazy if I think that I'm going to be working for such paltry wages. And I storm out of my office, which may or may not also be my bathroom. Enraged, I yell out at me, I'm finished. I'm going to make damn sure that I never work in this town again. Thank you very much.
Woo! Sorry, guys.